think this war is almost over, and I feel like I've marched all over New York, including Staten Island. There's been a lot of movement lately, and we just witnessed General Mad Anthony's troops take Stony Point. I'll tell you about him and that battle a little later. Right now, we have to be watchful for Tories or loyalists. You haven't seen any, have you?
No.
You can't miss them with their red coats and their fancy marching. Enough about that. I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Charles Messeroll, and I've been with Company A of the New Jersey 9th Infantry. Usually I'm a weaver by trade, and this is quite a change from my daily routine. I'm missing my wife Catherine and our children, John, Jeannie, Elizabeth, Cornelius, Anne, and Helena. This revolution has taken me to quite a few interesting places so far. My commanding officers have just changed over the course that I've been here, but mostly I've served under Captain William P. When I enlisted a few years ago, it was winter, and we stopped at this fort in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. We were camped there for 6 long months. General Washington was also there, and it was quite miserable. It wasn't as cold as you might think, but we sorely lacked provisions. I remember eating many a fire cake, and they were hard as brick. Fire cakes, if you're not familiar, are flour, salt, and water mixed into a cake and then cooked in a cast iron pan over a fire. Not very tasty. We also were issued a pound of meat a day, if you want to call it that. It's mostly lard and it's very salty. This makes it so the meat won't go as rancid as quickly. Clothing and supplies were sparse. I was lucky. At least I had shoes and a blanket. Some of our poor lookouts were in their bare feet or just had thinly wrapped makeshift shoes. Luckily, things changed quite a bit after General Washington sent for Christopher Ludwig. He was a baker who arrived at camp. He saw how poorly we were eating and made us all bread. This was a welcome change from all those awful fire cakes. Baron van Steuben also arrived and saw how unorganized at fighting we were. He was a Prussian soldier who drilled our troops with very exhausting training exercises. Before that, we were very inexperienced at fighting. We didn't know how to fight with a bayonet, and we were just farmers or tradesmen. Like I said, I was a weaver and knew very little about fighting. But now I feel better prepared for any attacks and have learned many new maneuvers. Oh, I have to tell you about the time we were at Monmouth in New Jersey. I myself was out scouting looking for Tories, but I heard all about the battle when I returned. General Washington arrived at the scene and was so angry that our men were retreating that he took over the command from Major Light Horse Henry Lee. I hear that his grandson, Robert E. Lee, was involved in a civil war of some kind here in the States. Luckily, our training with fixed bayonets at Valley Forge is going to pay off. Have you ever heard the expression, bite the bullet? Well, Monmouth was where it all started, as many men tend to bite down their musket balls during the medical treatment on the field. The battle lasted 3 hours, and at one point, Mary Hayes, a water carrier, had to step in for her wounded husband. He was a cannoneer who collapsed and was taken away off the field. His wife knew she had to step in and take his place, helping load the cannon. You may have heard of her. I think she earned the nickname Molly Pitcher. General Washington even awarded her an honorary title when he heard of her valiant actions. Oh, how I wish I would have been there to see that. Oh, that's right. I was telling you about Stony Point and General Mad Anthony. I lose track of all these places I've been to in my 2 long years of service. We were just there a few months ago, and like I said, General Mad Anthony Wayne was taking the blockhouse at midnight. This fort was on the Hudson River and held supply lines. That was quite a scene, let me tell you. It was midnight, and General Wayne took the blockhouse back from the British in about 30 minutes. I heard he had a musket ball graze his head, but he kept going. I've also heard he has quite the fiery temper, is very strict with his men. Maybe this is why he has their respect. I'm glad I was not in the thick of that battle. The Continental Army lost 2 men, but we held the fortification. Our regiment is heading out to a place called Paulus Hook in New Jersey. This is a Dutch settlement and has another fortification there we must capture. I think this battle will be a success, as General Washington has been watching this settlement for some time from afar. Speaking of the Dutch, the Netherlands is where my family originally comes from. My parents were John and Helena Messeroll. In fact, when I enrolled to serve, the register wrote my name down as Messeroll. I guess my Dutch accent must have thrown him, as I had trouble proving I was even in the war later. I understand it was a hard process getting my $20 pension for my wife and children. I had to have my clergyman testify on my behalf that I was an honest man of my word. I even described facts about specific battles that proved that I was present during the Battle of Long Island, where Lord Alexander Sterling was taken prisoner by the British. Another confusing element of my record of service was I was never formally discharged in writing. My commanding officer, William Peake, gave me verbal discharge. After I get home, I think I'll follow my son John to a place called Union City, Michigan. I heard there is good farmland there. I'm very proud to be serving my country in this new revolution. Every Independence Day, I will plan on attending the parades and celebrations in Union City. I guess I'm one of the first residents in your town to have fought in the war. If you look, you notice I have 2 markers on my grave. My headstone was the first stone marker placed in the cemetery by Corbin Post, according to some. Union City was just a tiny settlement when I was buried here. It was wild country and mostly forest. My footstone is a little newer and was just straightened up by the sons of the Union veterans. I also am very proud to know that a Guard chapter was formed here in 1926 with my name. It's wonderful to know that this group existed for over 50 years. I guess there is a very nice woman on this tour by the name of Georgina Bassett, who belonged to the chapter as well. You may run across her and her story too. Even I heard the stories of her Pilgrim ancestors when I was growing up in Bushwick, New York. That was a long time ago though. Well, it was an honor talking with all of you, and if you see any redcoats, let me know. I will be ready to continue to protect and serve my little resting place in Union City.
Thank you. Very good.